Now we're going to go back to muting everybody. Grab a seat. I envision everybody started seated, but you can definitely lay on your back or wherever you like, child's pose, since I talked about it. I've been doing what I call active meditations. And it's great for people who have a hard time focusing. If you struggle with keeping your attention on meditation, this is definitely going to help you. And one of the things that I found, it really helped with my rib cage and my diaphragm. I get really tight in the diaphragm and the ribs, and it's hard for twists or binds because I'm all bound up in here. But this meditation is mostly for your nervous system to help relax it. But I'm just giving you some heads up on where some of my body felt this. So we're going to start right arm up as close to your ears as you can get. You're going to make the mudra, live long and prosper, the Spock mudra. I keep forgetting to look it up. Left arm's going to come out over the shoulder. The one good thing about having yourself on a camera, if you're looking, you can tell if your arm is too high or too low. So that's kind of nice when we get the ability to see ourselves. And then sit tall, pull your navel in slightly. Allow your sit bones to connect to the earth, as well as your tailbone. And then just a slight pull back on the back of the head so that the neck gets in line with our spine. So it's the beginning phase of our chin lock or our neck lock. So when you pull back like that, you can start to cut off your own airflow, and you can begin to feel the power of the ujjayi sound. So we're also going to play a little breathing game now that we're set up. We're going to do 3 minutes on one side and 3 minutes on the other so that we can stay balanced. Now we're going to work our way up, if you like this one, to 11 minutes a day in one side, and then the next day you switch arms. And this is supposed to balance out and relax your nervous system. This is coming from the Kundalini yoga exercise book of meditations. A very ancient practice of moving our body, Kundalini. So just a few rounds of breath in and out. And I read another definition of Kundalini, and the Kundala is a coiled hair, like a beautiful lock of love. And this resides at the base of your body, at the bottom of your tailbone. And it is this Kundala energy we're trying to wake up at our root, the base of our spine, and bring it all the way through the top of our head. And this is the work that connects us to the divine, where we can begin to trust the universe. To get the Kundalini to rise, you have to trust yourself. So as you begin to focus on your breath, notice if you started to tense up and where. And then see if you can relax. Begin to inflate your lungs on the inhale to a comfortable level. And release it slowly through your nose on the exhale. All the way to empty. Begin to lengthen the exhale. Maybe you can even pull the navel in and up, accentuating and pushing out that final little bit of CO2. Now at any time your arms feel like they're going to just fall off, if you hold them up another breath, you have permission to shake them out whenever you need to. But for these last 5 breaths or so, see if you can keep your legs relaxed. See if you can keep your breath even. Focusing on lengthening out the exhale. And just relaxing, letting go of purpose, of progress. Seems to be a big problem right now. That people feel like they're supposed to be making progress or be productive. Now we're just going to switch sides. But if your arms are fried, you're going to need to shake them out or roll the shoulders, head, neck around. Go ahead. If you can go right on into the other side, go in. Now, if you haven't heard my spiel, I usually practice this stuff a couple times before I share it. So I remember when I first did it the very first time, I couldn't believe I was only at 3 minutes when the timer went off. Thought for sure 11 minutes had gone by. What changed when you changed sides? Relax your hips. Begin to tap into that bigger, fuller breath. Make sure you're not tensing in your jaw. And if you are, release it. Focus on the inhales and the exhales. Let the inhales help you lift your arms and hold them up. Let the exhale be the release that helps you lower just the shoulders and lengthen the neck. Feel how the breath helps you lift and lower your arms. Muscles don't have to do it all on their own. And as you start to tap into your bodily sensations, notice what it feels like to be in your skin today. I've been hearing a lot from students who are sitting for their jobs, and low back is starting to get real cranky because we don't give ourselves time to stand up at home. At least at work, you could get up and walk to the break room or go to the bathroom or leave the building for lunch. At home, you bring your lunch back to the computer. So give yourself time. Feel this slight discomfort. Be with it for just 2 more breaths. And then save your arms if they need saving. And then bring your hands to heart center. There is no rush, so if my words get ahead of you, please stick with your breath. And bow your chin in and give yourself a moment to set an intention. Where would you like your practice to take you today? And how do you want to get there? I'm going to encourage you to make it a breath-centered practice today. So come to hands and knees as we build up our diaphragmatic breath, moving through some cat-cows. And if you need your cat-cows to be bigger, then you're going to come on up to down dog and you're going to do your cat-cows there. And we've been trying to find some free music that we can use, because when we put it up on YouTube, we get flagged. So letting the inhale lift your gaze and your tailbone on the cow, and then the cat rounds and arches the spine. You guys all know that. So give yourself 3 more full rounds of breath and see what happens when you fully link the movement and breath. How slow do your movements become? luxuriating in the breath and the length you can create with it. On both the inhale and the exhale. When you finish your third round, if you need more, take them. Otherwise, curl the toes under, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Push the ground away with your hands. Get into that first knuckle under your first finger, and then plug your shoulders in, and then cup your armpits. With the spine. Push the ground away with your feet. Lift your sit bones up to the space where the wall and the ceiling meet. And then really tuck your chin in as far as yours will go, as if you could see your navel. Maybe you can actually see your navel. And give yourself 3 to 5 more rounds of breath. As you settle in and the shoulders open, it might feel good to start to push the chest back towards your thighs. Or really lengthen through the backs of the legs. And as you finish your last breath, you'll make your way to the front of the mat. Hop, step, float. And then you'll take your inhale for your half lift. Exhale, full fold. Take a few breaths in this fold. You could bend the knees as you work belly and thighs together. You could reach around behind the thighs and tuck yourself in. Keep your shoulders on your back. You could dangle and sway. Maybe let the head roll around a little bit. And give yourself 2 more really big breaths on this forward fold. And as you push down through your feet, ripple all the way up through standing, reach your arms and your gaze overhead, and then collect it all in front of your heart. And pause and reconnect to your intention. And since this is free music on Spotify, royalty free, bad DJ Donna's in the house. Who knows what we're going to get today. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, fold in half. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank. Now, knees can come down for sure if you need them there. Right? And when we push the ground away and spread the shoulders, make sure your butt doesn't lift too, right? Especially us ladies. That's our strong spot, so we're going to lift our hips. Okay? Engage your belly and push through the legs and engage the quads. I'm going to suggest you take 3 more full rounds of breath. Now, if high plank is the place where you're getting pretty comfortable, then maybe you start to take some hovering, low, nice and slow. And then inhale, pull it up for up dog, and hold there. Check over each shoulder, and breathe deeply. Yeah, that is beautiful, Tiffany. Keep the shoulders down the back, and a slight bend in the elbows so we don't lock out the muscle and dump unhealthily into the joint. It's hard, tattoo. It's easy to lock the elbows. Roll yourself into down dog. Take your time. Push with your belly button to lift the hips. Big breath in, big breath out if you need it. Now that we got some simple movements going, let's pick up our right leg. I've been working with squaring my hips because for the first 15 years of my yoga career, it was always cued to stack the hips. So I got a lot more work for me cut out here at this, what is often called giraffe pose. But you can stack your hips tonight if you want to. Which one does your body want? If your foot is straight up behind, squeeze those inner thighs together. Keep breathing. 2 more breaths. And once you get into that nice big last breath, we're going to step the right foot up between the hands. Stay on the ball of the back foot. Drop really nice and low into this low lunge. Square the hips, hold the inner thighs together, shoulders down the back. Cupcake the fingers if flat hands is too far away. And I don't know if you got props at home, but if that doesn't work and the ground's too far away, support yourself with blocks into your hands. We're going to walk the right hand inside the right foot. You might need to walk the right foot out. We're going to come into lizard pose. So you could stay right here because it's yummy and it feels really good. You might need to drop your knee down. You might be really bendy and be able to bend into the elbows. Now, just because I could drop to my elbows doesn't mean that's where this pose is working for me. So staying lifted today is where the work is for me. Take 2 more rounds of breath to find the work for you. Where are you getting that sweet relief? Maybe it's all tremble and shake. Walk your right foot over just a little bit so you can walk your hands underneath. And then we're going to step the left foot up and we're going to come into this low squat. That sounded easier than it was. So if you need to hobble your way in, go ahead. And then drop into your low malasana and bring your hands up in front of your heart. Take a pause here. Toes can be turned out or facing parallel. Push the ground away with your whole foot. Inhale, rise through standing. Maybe you're going to lift up onto your toes. Maybe not. Exhale, come on down. Keep your spine long and keep your tailbone tucked in until you have to. Let it stick out. Inhale, lift yourself back up. Go ahead, back and forth a few times, up and down. Controlling the lift and the lower. Added balance challenge. Keep the hands lifted the whole time. We got 2 more. It's like 5-ish is what I'm going for. So we'll meet in the squat. And here is where I'd like you to just pause in the squat. So if you're newer to the practice, this is a great place to hang out. You are also pretty close to set up for bakasana, crow pose, planting the hands and coming on up for your bakasana. You could also plant the hands underneath and come up into your bhuja pindasana or your titi-basana. But there's nothing wrong with enjoying this amazing squat. 1 more breath. And then you're going to plant your hands, step it back, hop it back, or maybe even float it back. Take your chaturanga, your up dog, and your down dog. Left leg, lift. Take all those beautiful adjustments. Start with your hands, push the ground away, cup the armpits. If you're stacking the hips, what are your shoulders up to? Be aware. If you're keeping the legs straight, squeeze the inner thighs together as you lift your heel to the ceiling. As you exhale, crunch it under, step the foot up, and then we bring both hands inside. Drop into the lizard pose that serves you on this side. So we're getting into this psoas, and that's a beautiful thing if you sit for long periods of time. And try not to get slumping in your shoulders. Push the ground, pull your navel in, and push out through your heel. 2 more breaths, because I gave you lots of options on side A. And then we make room for our right foot to step up as we step into our malasana. The inhale will lift you all the way up through standing, come up onto the toes. And then exhale, lower back down. I'm looking for 5. Now here's an intensifier for some of you because I know some of you need it. When you come up, see if you can glue your right knee to your right rib cage and come all the way up with your leg. And when you come down, You just switch sides. So we're going to try and glue that leg to our body. So if you need to take it up a notch, pick it up a notch. You need to keep it low key tonight? Well, do that. Balance today. When you get back to your squat, squat for 5 breaths, bakasana for 5 breaths, savasana, or bhujapindasana. Feet never need to leave the ground, but they could. So when we're working on those balances, we need to get enough time in the pose to actually work it. And for me, sometimes working the pose is the step right before it. And so find those places where sensation hides. Step hopper, float your way back. High plank. Take at least 1 full breath to lower down. Inhale for up dog. And then exhale for down dog. And I've got just a couple things I want to add in. Right leg up. Exhale, step it up. Both hands inside the foot. Okay, now right hand pushes the ground away. Left hand is going to reach up for the sky as you twist. And if it's too much with your knee up, put your knee down. Reach the left arm over your head. And then out to T. And then up to the sky. 2 more times. Just opening up these hip flexors. And then you can drop down into your lizard pose. Keep the hips low. If you're a binder, you could definitely go for the bind, and then you'll feel if your hips lift. 1 more big breath. And then that fun transition, step your foot up. Drop into malasana. 5 times, lift and lower, with or without the knee. Super glued to your armpit. Maybe it's more challenging to come up onto your toes. So we're going to take the left and then 1 more time together. Let this warm up flow. Short and sweet. Add in if you want to. After the lifts and lowers, I've been doing bakasana. Let's see if I can get into any of the other ones today. Bhujapindasana. Savasana, we stick the legs out. When you get to the left side, left leg goes up. We added in the twist. It's actually like an opening. We rotated your shoulder a little bit. Maybe you can follow your thumb with your nose. Keep an eye on the hips. That could be my lifting to make my arm rotate. And then we step up into the malasana. Nice big squat. Lift and lower. 5 down. 6 if you're going side to side. And not to let the music rush you. That's going to be really hard to do. Keeping your eyes closed when you're lifting and lowering. If you want this last round all by yourself, right and left, take it. If you need a break, find your way into a restorative pose.
like crayons, never meant to last. Our colorful clothing all washed out. Hope we could find our way out of the moment, complaining on the wall. Our colorful clothing all washed out. We live in gray, dreaming of the colors fading away. Can you see, we're washed out, washed out. We're washed out. We need to turn our pages, sharpen our pencils and start again. The colorful feelings are washed out. Where should we
Remember to let the breath and movement match.
Stories or moments we can't forget. The colorful feelings are washed out.
And when you finish your left side, please don't rush. Meet me in a seat.
We live in gray, dreaming of the colors fading away. Can you see, we're washed out. We're washed out. We're washed out.
When you get back to your seat, if you're still flowing, you know the drill. Keep flowing. We'll be on our bottoms. If you got here and you're ready to bring the backs of your hands together and line up your knuckles, and pull the wrist in towards your chest, thumbs down, elbows level with the ground. We're just going to take a pause here and reconnect to our breath at its deepest level. So feel that inhale, expand. Let your exhale fully empty. Once you get connection to your breath, we're going to take the inhale as big as we can get it. We're going to count to 30 on the exhale, super slow. As if you're counting, see if you can count your vertebrae now. Inhale deeply. And then exhale as slow as you possibly can. When you get to the very bottom of that exhale, you pull your navel and your low belly in, pull, like really push the air out. Get to that place where you're like, oh, I'm not breathing. Not when you have to like gasp for breath. Right before that, and then inhale. And then take that empty beyond the place you can take it. You can do it. Trust yourself. It's a really big step in changing. First, we have to surrender. We have to let go of expectations. Oh, that's hard. Practice on your breath. Seriously, let go of expectations. All of them. Especially the ones we put on other people. That's a practice. And then you have to trust. And to trust others, you have to trust yourself. And you don't have to, but it works better. Last round or two, I was talking, not necessarily counting. When you finish your last one, you'll bring yourself back to downward facing dog, and perhaps table and cat-cows if that serves your body better today. Give yourself at least 2 to 3 breaths in down dog, just to push the ground away and feel that stretch, the length, power. And then pick your right leg up. If you haven't done the bend, twist, and open yet, bend, twist, and open. If you're a flipper and you haven't flipped your dog all the way over yet, feel free to flip into wild thing. Push the ground away and lift your belly up, whether you're facing the ceiling or facing the ground. One more breath. The whole point of slow flow is to let it get interesting when we hold things. You're going to step the foot up all the way between the hands, pin and plant the back foot, and rise up to warrior B. Push into the back foot and sink really low into the lunge. Give yourself that time to adjust. Tailbone reaches down, belly pulls in, inner thighs are moving apart. Make sure your hips are facing the long edge of your mat. Pinky toe on the left foot. And then push the ground away and out. Beautiful work. One more breath. As you inhale, pick it up through superstar. And then exhale, warrior two to the back of the mat. Lunging into the left foot. Push the ground away and take a few breaths. Fire up these thighs. Let that heat build. Think about your spine getting longer on each inhale. And your hips not only squaring but leveling off. One more breath. Inhale back up through superstar, and then turn the heels in and drop it into a Buddha squat, arms and teeth. Drop a little lower and pick your right heel off the ground. And maybe if you want to add in a few little pulses on this first hold, you feel free to do so. And then drop that heel. Pick up the left heel. Think about what's happening in your body. And let go of expectations. Breathe. Good. If that heel's lifted, put it down, straighten all the way up through superstar. Turn all 10 toes to face the front of the mat. Waterfall over your leg. So in this pose, we're trying to get all 10 toes facing forward. If you're pretty open, you're also trying to get your legs to line up. So left toes behind right heel. Belly to thigh, chin to shin. And until we're there, we support ourselves so that we don't overtax the body part on our way to releasing tension. As you inhale, come all the way up. And then reach the arms back and lean back. This is a really wobbly pose for me. If it is for you too, you can widen your stance. Heel toe your right foot over. And keep reaching back, your reverse waterfall. One more breath. And when you inhale, come on up. And then it's going to be a T twist to the right. I find these twists difficult because I'm tight in the diaphragm. So I'll force with the hand instead of twisting through the rib cage. So if you're really fluid in there, feel your rib cage open you up. Square the hips. Remember to level them off. If you're tight like I am, don't keep forcing. Breathe. We got to release to receive that. Now tip it backwards and feel that opening. One more great big breath. And as you exhale, we're going to windmill the hands down and come into standing splits. So if you don't need your hands, grab your ankle instead. Now squeeze the inner thighs together as you push the ground away. Belly and thighs come closer and closer. Top of the head to top of the foot. So it's more like a standing forward fold with one leg. Point the toe and practice squaring the hips off in your standing split. Now pull the knee into your chest and we're going to rise for marionette. Now of course when we fall down we get back up. Some days we're strong and balanced, the other days we flop around like fish. Now I'm going to keep adding in. If what I add in doesn't work, you come back to here because this is a great place. Extend your leg out long. Open your arms out into T. And then start to lean back for reverse airplane. Then don't sink into your back for this. This is a great counter pose for sitting as long as it isn't hurting and compressing. One more great big breath. And then you'll fold all the way in to standing split. And whenever we get the hands on the ground, it's an opportunity to get the feet up. So if you're working on handstand, you add it in here. Exhale, curtsy bow. Drop your right knee, or your left knee outside your right foot, excuse me. And then see if you can lift your hands up. Another really balancing place for me. So sometimes I have to move my right foot forward. And then we're going to side bend right. And if you fell down, good, pick yourself back up. If you didn't, reach a little more. Inhale back through center, exhale side bend left. Inhale back through center. Hands come down to surround your foot. It's standing splits again. And then a hop, skip, or jump your way through to a vinyasa or right to down dog. That'll be up to you. Chaturangas aren't for everyone. Left leg's gonna go up. You'll play with the bend, twist, and open if you want to. Flip and dip if you need to. Or just flip. It's a beautiful pose no matter where you landed in it. And something special is happening for your body. So embrace that. When you come back through on this next breath, we're going to step into warrior two. Left foot forward. And we'll take a few breaths to really sink into the pose. Start at the feet. Work all that energy up. Let your alignment shift. Your body wants to be helpful. How can you help your body? One more breath, sink it down. Yeah, there it is. And then inhale it up, it's superstar. But it's a pass through. Lunge into your left. Warrior two. I'm wobbly on this side today. Push it down and push it out. Feel those hips. Engage your belly. One more breath. Push down and out. And inhale it up. Superstar. And then pivot to the front, waterfall. So you can set yourself up on this side, making the adjustments with your feet. Supporting yourself with your hands. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Pull back with the hamstrings on both legs. And allow the fold to happen to the extent your body can do it. One more breath. And then use your hands and your strong belly lift all the way up. Get balanced. And then lay it back. Push into both feet. And come back up in T-twist. Feel the resistance, and if there is none, enjoy that fluidity and see how much further you can twist. Don't force. One more breath. Strong belly. Inhale brings you back through center. Hands come down, standing split. So you could reach right for your ankle or keep them hovering. That'll be up to you. And one more breath. Maybe two. I don't want to cheat this side. And I would. This is my more challenging side. Curtsy bow it out. Bring the knee down. Sit low. Inhale the arms up high. And if it wasn't balancing enough for you, maybe you walk that left foot back a little more and push the whole foot down. Side bend to the left. And some of you might, when you start warming up on these side bends, if you get saucy enough, I'm not sure I can, you can lift that back leg and grab the foot while you're side bending. Take it to the other side. Bring it back through center. Standing splits again. Pull the knee in and let's come all the way up for marionette. And this is where we got really crazy. So marionette, awesome. Extend the leg out. And start to lay it back for reverse airplane. You don't have to go far. What I'm looking for is this expansion in your chest and this lift of your upper back, your thoracic. Just push myself down. So it's going to help open up your bronchial tubes and keep the mucus at bay. That's huge. And as you exhale, back into standing splits. Hop, step, or float your way back through the vinyasa. And we'll go a little bit more one breath, one movement. Now if you've got it figured out, take it away whenever you're ready. If you're with me, right leg goes up. Bend, twist, open. If you're flipping, flip. If you're not, enjoy your three-legged dog. Warrior 2 is next. Control those transitions. That's a really powerful part of our practice. Superstar to warrior 2 on the left. You could definitely add in a reverse or an extended or both. Come on up through superstar. Pivot all the way around waterfall. Set your feet up, push the ground away. Inhale, lift. Exhale, recline. So another big heart opener as we strengthen our back and our belly and our bronchial tubes. Come on up and T-twist, ring it out. Oh yeah, and some of you are going to need the reverse revolve, so tip it backwards, yeah? Yeah, if that's part of your practice, you grab that. And when you come forward, it's standing splits. Curtsy bow. Lift it up and take your side bends. Coming back up to standing splits. Marionette to reverse airplane. Now I'm going to recommend at least 3 breaths in your balancing. More if you want to be challenged. Less if 3 is what you got tonight. Or if you want to play somewhere else. Activate. And fold into your standing splits. If handstand or your handstand wannabe, it's this left leg, your left heel, that's the power. You gotta push the ground away And lift with the left leg. So we're not kicking into handstands, we're lifting. Roll through your vinyasa, and when you get to down dog, we're on the left. Then twist open. Warrior two comes next. Superstar to warrior two on the right. We added in a reverse and an extended. And then superstar to waterfall. One to three breaths in your waterfall. Then we lift it up and lay it back. Reverse the flow. If that's like, oh my God, where's this bag all day? Hang out there. Otherwise, it's the twist. And if you want the reverse revolve in that one, go ahead and grab it. Standing splits. Curtsy bow. Side bend. Standing splits to marionette. To reverse airplane. Breathe deep when the mind gets frustrated. And when you get to your standing splits, your handstand prep, you can just take little bunny hops here too. Really good for getting the arms and the ankle strong, and it's good for bone density building. Now you can take this a time on your own, right and left, or you can come into a restorative pose. Right leg, then twist open. Warrior two.
I can't help but live in the moment.
Too much tech for me on that one.
I stop when you talk.
So if you want to change up your curtsy bow, or add into the balancing, you sure can.
You look amazing to me. Sometimes it feels like I can't help but show it. I think that we're meant to be.
Meet me on your belly when you're done.
I can't help but live in the moment. pocket, slow motion. Well, your eyes that look like the sun of the ocean. You look amazing to me. Sometimes it feels like I can't help but show it. I think that what I'm meant to be. Sometimes it feels like I can't help but show
Let the dry, quiet music stop you if you're still flowing. And if you were in a break pose for a while and you're ready to join me on your belly, then come onto your belly. But we're actually coming into Sphinx pose. So you're going to line up your legs and bring the heels together if yours will do that. Elbows under shoulders, palms on the ground, pushing the ground away, shoulders down your back, chest forward. Push into the tops of your feet and let this lengthening of your spine happen. Now if you're tight in the shoulders, feel free to drop your chin when you need to and then lift it back up when you can. If you're tight in the low back, you might need to take your feet wide. If none of that is applicable to you, feet are together, elbows are under shoulders, push the ground away with your hands and forearms so you can lift the chest as you pull it forward. Breathe deep as you push into the tops of your feet. 2 more breaths. Good, and then you're going to drop your chin down and in. Curl your toes under and lift into forearm plank. That works with your knees down or up. But really pull in on your navel as you push your heels back and squeeze your thighs. Push the ground away. And feel that power. 3 more breaths. If you don't need to put your knees down, then you're going to push right on up into down dog. But if you need to put your knees down to get there first, then put your knees down. If your arms are fried, put your knees down. Pick your right leg up. We're going to get a little playful here. As you exhale, step the foot up. So we've been warming up these hips for a lot for compass pose. So both hands inside like in lizard, but now the back foot pivots and plants like warrior 2. Then we work to get our arm underneath our right leg without our right hip sticking out. And if you can climb all the way under, you will. And then the right hand kind of sneaks out kind of across from your right ankle. So it's not next to it. You get space. And if you're still with me, stop wherever you find like, oh my God, right here is where I want to stop. Instead of, oh, that feels so good right now. Right? But the next place is to squeeze the leg around your arm. And then the next phase is to lean into the right hand and grab the right big toes with the left peace finger. And then we open that leg up like we do in compass pose. To roll the hips under and stack. And that's as big as my compass pose is. So you take yours as big as it goes. You got 2 more breaths. We'll be there again, so practice makes perfect. And then we'll unwind ourselves. Come onto the ball of the left foot or the knee. And take the right arm up for a dragonfly twist. Don't let your left hip cave in, but keep them square. And see if you can drop low into the psoas. Strong belly. One more breath, thumb over nose. And then we're going to move into side arm plank. So left knee down or up, right foot stacks. You could also grab your big toe and lift it up for full bakasana. And then eventually the gaze goes up too. Side arm plank, so whichever version gets you to your edge. Then take your chaturanga, up dog, down dog. Go forward, high plank. Exhale, slow lower all the way to your belly. Bring the forearms down and zip up the legs. Good. Curl the toes under. And you can either pause here in Sphinx. If some of you are going to lift your hips. We're going to lift the right leg. And then the left. 3 on each side. And this is about strengthening your back and your belly. Nothing more. So be kind to yourself. And then we hover in our forearm plank. And if you want to add dolphin in, this is where you're going to add it in. 2 more breaths. And climb your way up into down dog. Take your left leg up. Step it up. Pivot and plant the back foot. Left hand inside. Start to work under the leg. So if lizard pose is where you're at, this is great. This is super opening. Right? If your flexibility and strength have you walking your shoulder under your leg, awesome. That's as far as you go, perfect. If you can shift the weight into that hand and lean and start to pick your left foot up, and you grab it with the big toe with the right fingers, and then extend. And then try to tuck the hips under. It's not the full pose that matters. It's everything that's happening to get us in the pose. What do we resist along the way? 2 more breaths, because I know I was more chatty on the other side. It's my easier side. Yeah. And you'll climb your way out from underneath. And we'll open into dragonfly twist. Now, the hips we're trying to stack in compass, and in dragonfly we're trying to square. And we're going to slip it into our side arm plank. Right knee up or down. Left leg up or down. Maybe you do a little lift and lower, I don't know. And then the vinyasa. All right, one more time on each side. If you got it figured out, you don't need me. Belly and Sphinx. And if you want to take that power out of the flow and just hang with some of this softness, just stretch it. And spend more time there. We have a lot of voices in our head. Which one are you going to listen to? Oh yeah, head in the leg lifts. Oh yeah, I forgot the leg lift. We're trying to keep our hips down, by the way. And just lift the leg. Forearm plank, down dog. Not that quickly unless you want it to be. We're on the right.
After your expression of compass, it's dragonfly twist. The side arm fly. Make your way through the left and then meet me on your back. Unless you want to go into headstand, then when you finish, go into headstand.
The seasons are changing, the nights ever fading. It's time we left the ground. Seems that you and I lost touch. This would happen, open oceans between us. Still it's not of me to call her eyes from like fire. Burning tattoos on my skin. Your smile is still like red. Drunk is it? Think of you.
So you get on your backs, hug your knees in and rock around. If you're already there, would you like candlestick or shoulder stand? Bridge pose or twists? Oh, here's one I've been adding into my practice, shoelace pose. Cross the right leg under the left. Or vice versa, and just grab for your feet. And some people can pull the knees all the way away from the body and pull them down. But whichever final pose you decided to go into, once you get there, give yourself 10 of the most luxurious breaths you've had so far. If you chose candlestick, feet are up, spine is long on the floor, chin is slightly tucked. Legs are as extended as yours can go, supporting them if you're tight in the hamstring. If you went all the way up into shoulder stand, well, this one's a tougher one to talk in because I'm compressed. If you're all the way up in shoulder stand, work to get the hips stacking over the shoulders. And the heels are slightly reaching away from the body. And the bottoms of the feet are reaching up. These are all directions, so your body might not be there yet. It's the direction we're moving in. Now, if you went up to shoulder stand, you traditionally go through plow and fish. So feel free to add those in when you get there. Toes overhead for plow. And then all roll out to happy baby. Not happy baby, I'm sorry. Candlestick. You could take happy baby, but I was going to take us all into a variation of fish pose. So letting the heels come down and lifting onto the elbows so our head can rock back. Don't flop between your shoulders. Stay active. And reach back with your head between your shoulders. Keep lifting the front of your throat up. And then think about the extension of your spine you're creating. It was just folded back the other way if you were in shoulder stand. If you weren't, we all spend way too much time looking down. This is good. You've got one more breath and then you're going to drop into savasana. If you were with me, you're on your own count. You take it when you're ready. And we'll take shavasana together, and then I'll pull us out so we can conclude our practice together. Those expectations come back. It's amazing how built up they can get inside of us. How powerful they are when they lead us around. How damaging they can be when our expectations are unattainable for us or the ones we put on others. Take a great big breath in and then release it. Only you have the power to release those expectations. And you are very powerful. You proved that to yourself today.
step of the class. Stretching your body out long. Ending your practice in your favorite way with hugs and stretches and deep cleansing breaths. Taking your time to meet me in a seat. Together we'll conclude our practice. There's such power when we come together and practice as a group. There's this energy that we feel and feed off of one another. And as we practice in our virtual classroom and we all get better at sharing and feeling that energy across the screen, across distances, we grow our network. We send out healing vibes in such large ways now. That's something to be really grateful for. I'm going to conclude our practice with a great big Om, and you are welcome to join me or to listen. Take a cleansing breath first. Inhale deeply, and then release it. Fill to a comfortable level. Hands together in front of the heart. Use your thumb touches your sternum to remind you to listen to your heart. Bow in with gratitude. Every day there's something to be grateful for. It's as simple as breathing. Don't let life get complicated. Together we lift our chins and chests and we go forth and we spread love. Thank you so very much for being here with me today. Namaste. Beautiful work, everyone.